Hi, this is Shadi, and today I'm going to talk to you about striking in old Kodokan. Old Kodokan had a lot of emphasis on so many things: Waza, competition, striking, self-defense. Normally today when we talk about Atemi Waza, if we do talk about it, it's usually in the form of kata, and nobody takes it any seriously. Or these old Gracie Jiu-Jitsu where you see Elio and Henner, they're doing self-defense drills. So basically it's not something that's taken very seriously. So what I will do in this video is show you two things. The first one being Hideichi Nagaoka, Jigoro Kano's last red belt. I did the video on him, and where he's doing striking in the context of throws. You can see clearly how it's being used in the form of kuzushi or a startling mechanism. And also I will go through Gunjiko Izumi's writings on Atemi Waza. He is considered the father of British Judo, and I'm gonna talk to you about the points to hit when it comes to striking. It wasn't just basic striking like you see, you hold that, you block the hand, you strike arbitrarily and you throw. These strikes were very much organized, and I'm gonna read them to you, and credit to one of the moderators on our judo for providing me with the link, and I will leave it in the description below so you can read more about them. They were called Kyusho, or vital points, and they seem to be very much effective if you do strike them when incorporating them. So it's very good to know that they paid attention to strikes just as much as grappling, or not as much, but nonetheless there was some focus. So let's start first with Hideichi Nagaoka. This is him, I believe, in New York City back in 1934. Here you see Uke grabbing him by the elbow. He strikes and immediately throws with Harai Goshi. Striking the knee obviously is not going to be pleasant. Here you see the solar plexus, and immediately hits with Ukigoshi. So here you see, turns the heel, runs and strikes. Again, it looks very basic. They're not boxers or karateka, but when they hit, they really try to hit somewhere where it really hurts, or it really causes some type of startling or serious damage. And what is interesting about this is when I talk about kudo or kempo, or any type of striking with grappling, striking often can be used as your kuzushi. This is not your classical two judokas holding each other, kuzushi tsukurikake, but when you strike, you can easily put on the solar plexus, you can put someone's weight forward and you throw them. So let's talk about the strikes in particular. You have uto, between the eyes. Here you see it. Obviously this can do a lot of damage. Kazumi, the temple with the hammer fist. Hammer fist, you can swing as hard as you want, nothing's gonna happen to your fist. And here you see Suigetsu, the solar plexus. If you've never been hit in the solar plexus, you don't know how much it hurts. So this is just three, but Gunjiko Izumi, I'll read them to you. They are far more than three. There is Tento, which means heavenly knockout. It is in the middle of the crown of the head. So on the top of the head, the blow is downward with the fist, meaning a hammer fist to the crown of the head. Obviously, this is gonna cause a lot of shock to the neck, also not just the head on top, and also the brain, and it can be very dangerous. I don't know if this is permitted in MMA. I know there's like the 12-6 rules and no kicking when someone is down, but striking the top of the head with the hammer fist, I'm not sure about it. Uto, we already talked about it, which means sun and the moon, and it is the roots of the eyebrows between the eyes, and also the bone above the eyes. That can also be really damaging in case the bone cracks or shatters if the blow is strong enough, whether it's with the knee or the fist. He says it's not just the fist. You have Jinchu, center of man. It is base of the nose, so you're striking with the fist, the side of the hand like a chop, or the knee upward to the bottom of the nose. I can imagine this will clearly hurt, and it will do a lot of damage, not only to the bones but also the vessels of the nose, and it will cause sheer bleeding, in my opinion. You have Guanto, which means head of rock. The position is the point of the chin, and the blow is an upward or downward with the fist. So basically an uppercut or downward with the fist, also with the knee or the foot. You have Kazumi, we saw it. The position is the temple of the head, the blow with the side of the hand, so a hammer fist. And Sugietsu, watery moon, we saw it, the solar plexus. You have Denko, which means lightning. There are 10 in total, by the way. Denko, which means lightning. It is right floating ribs blow with the fist or knee or foot. So obviously it's a rib blow to the side. A hammer fist, a straight fit like a hook, knees, and also the foot. So the Tsukigake Kage, shadow of moon, position which is left floating ribs, and also blow with the fist and the knee or the foot. So you have the right ribs, which is Denko, and the Tsukikage, it's the left floating ribs. You have Myojo, which means bright star, position 1.5 inches below the navel. So the lower abdomen, blow with the fist, elbow, knee, or foot. Obviously, this is a very sensitive area. This is where you're starting to go to the pubic area. And as a man, I don't know, it's if you've ever been hit in the crotch, you feel a lot of pain in that pubic area, lower abdomen area for some reason. It's not just the crotch. And here he's telling you to strike it head on with the fist or the elbow or the knee or the foot. It's called Myojo, which means bright star. So I imagine you would see bright stars. And the final one, which means Tsurigane, which means it's a position between the legs, blow with the knee. So basically crotch strike. So as you see here, they're striking very precise areas of the body that will really cause a lot of damage, like the bottom of the nose upward, the point of the chin, the temple, and the solar plexus, the groin, and also like the pubic area, the lower abdomen. Obviously these are gonna hurt very badly, and you don't need to be like this heavyweight boxer or Mike Tyson to, if you practice them efficiently how to strike them, they're gonna do a lot of damage. So these are in the realm of self-defense, in when you block someone and you want to strike them and to render them, at least for a few seconds, really nauseous or startled or in so much pain, or actually just damage them. This is where you hit someone. Now, I don't know about UFC, about the crown of the head. I know the back of the neck can also be very vital, like a hammer fist to the back of the neck on the spine can render someone unconscious almost immediately. So I don't know about weapons, but when it comes to striking, they really narrowed it down to these vital points, and they were someone or people that were very invested in striking and striking effectively. So you see in boxing you have all these crosses, jabs, and again, my utmost respect to boxers, karateka, and Muay Thai fighters, but when a judoka bases his striking around his grappling, he needs to strike where it hurts the most, and this is where they did it. I really wish there is Atemi Waza and not just kata formality where we hit but we don't even hit. It's just like a flailing in the air and we scream kiai as if we're doing the kata, and it's being done for the sake of formality. Now, kata in and of itself, it's not bad. It's forms. It's teaching you the right principles, where you position yourself, how to do it, etc. But it is not just that. And kata, in my opinion, has two benefits. The first one is teaching you the principles, whatever it may be, whether it is katame no kata on the ground, nage no kata, how to throw or how to grip, because it has multiple grips, underhooks, overhooks. You have the underhook with haraigoshi, and you have, immediately off the strike with Ippon Seoinage and Ukigoshi. So, and also you have the kata of self-defense, how to position yourself. But I believe also that whether it's Kano or the old koryus of Jiu-Jitsu, they created these katas in order for these techniques to be preserved. And this is something that's gonna sound very stupid and obvious, but they weren't stupid. They did randori way back in the Jiu-Jitsu days, in Judo, and they know that if you want to practice self-defense, you need to do it just like randori. with reflex, etc. But kata in and of itself is to preserve these particular techniques. As you saw in the kata, these very vital points to be struck. The same thing, because just like now, when you see Olympic judo and IJF, it's all only grappling. Imagine if there's no kata, all these techniques would be lost. All these, jujutsu schools you see today, they have their katas. We tend to mock them, but in a sense, they were done to preserve them because Japan was going through this transition and they were being phased out. So it's a way to preserve their history, but at the same time, it's principles that were preserved for us to learn, but it wasn't the end all be all. Kata just simply means form. And this is why Atemi Waza, fortunately, it was preserved. So again, I'm going to leave the link in the description below so you can read them and see, you don't have to be like a great boxer or striker. You just have to center your grappling. I'm talking about self-defense. I'm not talking about padded gloves, UFC or boxing ring. Your striking should be around your grappling, and if you want to hit, you should hit where it's effective the most. If you have anything else to add, let me know down below. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon. I have exclusive content for the patrons only. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.